missed you ever since. What does
Baby girl, do you want to marry Chevanique? Why is this lady boo-hoo crying as if she just lost a loved one? Like, relax. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind UK Season 3 episodes 4 and 5. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We pick up with Chevanique and Joseph in the pods. This lady is going to say to Joseph, I know you like me, yeah? The connection we have, it's just undeniable. I know that God orchestrated this connection. And you know what? The reason why you're afraid to commit to me is because you're scared. Girl, what? Girl, what? Could it maybe be the fact that he finds himself to be more compatible with somebody else? Why does it have to be fear? Girl, clearly he's not scared. He told you plenty of times, hey, I want to be with her, not you. Where's the fear? Where is it? She ends that date talking about, you know what? You pray about it. How about you pray on it? And this man actually wants more time to consider his decision. So much for having a decision in 24 hours. What happened to that, Joseph? Anyways, back in the men's and women's quarters, Joseph's head is scrambled. And Chevanique, she's really coming across like a mean girl.
It's a curveball, man.
You got a decision to make?
Yeah, so different, but they're also very similar.
They're there because they want to know what I'm talking about.
I don't like that.
Weird vibe. Do they look? Okay. Yeah. I just hope he takes a chance on me.
Well, I hope he does too.
Chevanique, girl, it's starting to feel like a part of you can't understand the fact that Francesca would be chosen over you. It could be the fact that she's like, no, I'm just so deeply into this man and I want him so badly. Or you cannot fathom that you are not the priority and Francesca is. I don't know which one it is. Maybe she can come and tell us that. But yeah, this is weird behavior. She's like, oh, I know they went over there to listen into our conversation. Mind you, there's a whole other conversation happening closer to Cuba and Francesca's conversation that would probably be easier to listen to than the conversation Chevanique had. Like, bro, come on. It could be, like, the producers could have manipulated that and she might have said that when they went and sat like next to them in some little nook thing. But either way, it doesn't even look like these two are trying to ear hustle. Chevanique, get over yourself. Chevanique is then going to wear what looks to me like a revenge dress. I mean, the man can't see her, but even Francesca was like, oof, damn, the girl looked good. And she did look good. She looked great. She recruits her little lackeys to help her write a poem. And this is the first time that I really saw how bad mind this next girl is when it comes to the whole Chevanique situation. She's always chattering madness in Chevanique's ear to like encourage this behavior that she's doing. And I was just like, yeah, that's weird. And it's not lost on me that they're also friends with Ciara, the most annoying girl of them all, in my opinion. Maybe I'll like her. I doubt it, but okay, maybe you do. And I'm just like, yeah, Chev, this is really not giving. So Francesca, she's having some doubts. She's going into the pods, wanting some clarity from Joseph. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Like, I was kind of dragging it. I was preoccupied by not wanting to hurt people's feelings. However, I do choose you. You are my priority. You are who I see myself falling in love with, who I want to marry, whatever. And so, of course, Francesca is really happy about that. Now, I personally feel like this extra, even when he said the I need 24 hours thing, I was like, this late in the game, you already know where your heart is at. So then him indulging Chevanique again when she said what she said, I was like, Joseph, like, I don't think he's handling it the worst way possible, but I think it could have been better. And he's going to acknowledge that later. I just don't see what was the point of dragging it along when your heart was on, what's her name? Francesca, right? And now you got old girl writing a poem and it's like, you're giving her hope for what? But also, is it hope? Is it hope or is she just trying to come out the victor? Because I don't even, like, I don't even know if I fully buy their connection. Like I said in the previous video, this vulnerability conversation was a whole lot of nothing. So I'm like, how much do you really like this man if you can't even be truly open with this man? We then see a montage of dates between Cuba and Ryan. He talks about struggling with commitment in the past, but now that he's with Cuba, all of a sudden he's seen the light and he's ready for marriage. So of course he proposes and she says yes. Fast forward to the reveal. I don't know about y'all, but I was quite underwhelmed.
You're real.
So are you. Hey.
Get my heart racing. I could feel you, and you fit the feeling.
Well, like the way he looked at me was like he adored me, and that makes me fancy him as well.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Ryan says he had no worries about his attraction towards Cuba, and after he saw her, he was absolutely blown away. She looks incredible, and of course, she does. She's a fine babe, right? She says she can feel the adoration whenever he's looking at her, and I don't know, guys, like, I get that they are attracted to each other. I don't question the attraction, but for some reason, it didn't feel like sparks were flying. You know, we've had so many good reactions this season. This just fell flat to me. It wasn't the worst. We've seen real bad reveals, but this, I don't know, it didn't like make me feel like, oh wow, like I'm so invested. And this is the start of the decline for my belief in this connection. We also see a montage of dates between Jack and Faye. And this confused me a little bit because I was like, well, damn. So Jack wanted to hone in on Ciara quite early then. And the way that Ciara was acting, she was making it seem like they were close to the bitter end and how could he string her along for so long and whatever. And then she was upset about just whatever. The way that she was acting made it seem like they were further along, but then we see Jack and Faye having so many more dates. I was confused, but anyways, he writes her yet another passage talking about how much he, you know, feels comfortable to her and wants to marry her, whatever. He proposes, she says yes. Their reveal definitely gave more chemistry than what was happening in the previous couple.
Oh my God.
Wow. You look more stunning than I could even imagine.
I fancy the pants off of her.
Two things that stand out.
Far too good looking to be hanging around with a guy like me.
Will you marry me?
I'd love to.
In there.
Jack is gassed to be with Faye. He noticed her girls, and I mean, she put them on display, so I mean, how could you really avoid them? He wasn't like overly checking her out. There were moments where he was checking her out, but he made it a point to say in his confessional that, yeah, he saw the girls and he's a big fan of the girls. He says that women like this don't look like that where he comes from, so he's really excited to be with her. Now, when they go on the engagement moon thing, he did say something that kind of like perked my ears up. He said, she was asking, am I your type? And he said, you look like a girl I would see on TV. Answer the question. Answer the question. I mean, here's the thing. People answer that question so poorly, so I'd rather he say that than flat out saying no and then hurting her feelings. But I was like, okay, you find her attractive, but is she your type? I don't know. I don't think somebody has to be somebody's type in order for their relationship to work. But yeah, is he like just super excited? Or does he have like a genuine desire for the girl? I feel like they're on a high right now, and I fear things are going to crash soon. I don't know. I haven't seen past episode 5. Shivanique walks into the pods, poem in hand, mind you, and she's ready to confess her love for Joseph. And Joseph reiterates that, no, his primary focus is Francesca. Again, I say, what was the point of needing an extra 24 hours? What was the point of that? Anyways, this girl is obviously trying to save face. She's like, I'm so happy for you. I wish you guys the best, blah, blah, blah. That's not how you were talking earlier, but okay. Francesca and Joseph have another date. He proposes. She says yes. At the reveal, the way this man was just enamored by this girl, I said, this is what I like to see.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Tiffany. Wow. Marry me.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Oh, you're cute, man.
Thank you.
Come here. Ooh, god damn.
He looked so tall. I was shocked to hear him say he's only 6'4". I was like, what? But then we hear that she's 5'3", and I said, oh, Okay, the height difference is sickening. She's like, Mama, I made it. I thought that was really cute. Obviously, he's loving what he's looking, okay? He's taking it all in. She's excited as well. She thinks he's very handsome. I just really loved this interaction. I felt like their physical chemistry was good. I was concerned because, you know, she is quite timid. I do, though, see a trend of him initiating physical anything more than she does. Like, he'll always be like, oh, come here, oh, give me a kiss, oh, da 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 da. So I wonder, like, is that something she's not fully comfortable with yet, or is she naturally a person who's not so affectionate? We're yet to find out. But either way, I really did like this reveal. All the engaged couples are headed to Ibiza. Guys, I forgot to even say, so when Chevanique was dumped, right, the girls did a prayer circle and they did an arch to walk her out and they clapped, and that one girl lost her ever-loving mind. And on the internet, some people were asking, like, why was this reaction so big? Turns out of a possible 15 couples to be formed, 14 were formed. 14! 14? Some of y'all just looking for clout. Ain't no way 14 out of 15 couples made it out of this damn show. So they're only following 6 couples to Ibiza, but I'm like 14. So I guess it makes sense why the girls were like really feeling for Chevanique in that moment, because she's the only girl who didn't find somebody. Even that nasty attitude girl found someone? Crazy. Anyways, in Ibiza, the first night comes around and Yasmin and Jordan are talking about the sleeping arrangement. He says, if you want me to sleep on the couch, I can. And she's like, no, the bed is big enough. You know, you stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. I'm like, ooh. I mean, we shouldn't force people to be intimate. If you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable. This person is still a stranger, even though you claim you love them. At this point, you still don't really know them like that. So I get it, but I just thought like, okay, is this like foreshadowing? I don't know. Then we see Ciara and AJ preparing for bed. He has a long skincare routine that she was shocked by. She didn't think that her man would have a longer routine than her, but he told you he was bougie. He said he likes the finer things in life. This is probably one of them. So then they start to talk about Jack. And Miss Gura, she's very irritated regarding the comments that Jack made in the men's quarters.
So obviously I know you had a connection with Jack.
Yeah.
You said that he was your number one?
Did not say that. He was pushing me. I said he was a strong connection. Never ever said that he was my number one. That could have been like detrimental to our relationship.
It is true that Ciara didn't say, you are my number one. She didn't say that explicitly. However, like I said in my video, she was heavily implying that because Jack was saying, hey, I'm at the point where I'm trying to narrow down my options. I want to know where you're at so I can, you know, decide which way I want to go. So she heavily implied that he is her number one. She didn't say it, but she implied it. And she even confirmed that in the pod. She's like, yeah, I didn't say it, but you know. So to me, I felt like from then she was running game. And so, of course, that led Jack to believe that he was her number one, and that didn't sit well with her and with AJ. AJ says if he wasn't going to leave here with Ciara, he was going to leave completely. That's unfortunate because the more I see Ciara, the less I like her. Fast forward to the couples mixer. Ciara is walking in irritated because she has a bone to pick with Jack. When she sees Jack, she starts to clown his looks, and I'm like, ooh, not too much. Okay, now I didn't think that she would be attracted to him, but clowning him is not a good look. It surely is not. Anyways, the girls are chatting about how things have been going for them so far. Sophie, Faye, and Ciara all hint to doing a little bit more than cuddling, maybe a lot more than cuddling, but nobody explicitly says what they had gotten up to. Then we have Ciara, who's talking to some of the girls about what Jack said, and she's really irritated because that could have jeopardized her connection with AJ. Joseph is in this conversation, and he's like, well, I don't know. I can kind of see things from Jack's perspective.
He said something that was untrue. I said that he was my number one.
You always said AJ, so that's actually not true.
He did say that.
He may have said it, but it doesn't mean it's true.
I just wonder what was the conversation.
Pushing for me to say it. I don't care.
Does annoy you when you're retelling the story.
Yeah, can't be asked.
I'm so glad that Joseph was there in that conversation to clock Ciara because okay, maybe you didn't explicitly say you are my number one, but you did say something that led him to believe that he was your number one. So, girl, what was said? And also, you're acting unbothered, but you're clearly bothered. I'm so glad that he called her out on both of those things because, girl, like, what's actually going on? You could start to see the annoyance that's building for Ciara. She's not going to be a fan of Joseph, and she's going to try to ruin his situation later on. But after this conversation, Joseph has a conversation with Jack, lets him know what happened in this, group talk. And Jack is like, okay, well, if she's saying she walked in preparing to end things with me, then why is she so bothered that I'm with somebody? Like what's the issue here? It wasn't the fact that he had moved on, but it was the fact that he had said something that put her other connection in jeopardy. And that's what she's upset about. I personally still think she wanted to run with the roster for as long as possible and be in the driver's seat. So I think it's less that Jack said something that she didn't say or miscommunicated something that she felt was said in a different way. I think it's the fact that he took away her autonomy and she don't like that. Jack then decides he's not going to play telephone and he's going to go straight to the source. He takes Ciara aside to speak about what happened. And he is open and says, you know what? Okay, maybe that was a miscommunication, which is what I truly believe happened. But Ciara's like, you were trying to do me dirty.
I remember it being like a jokey conversation. Be straight up, I was like, shit, boys, my strongest connection at the moment. That was the last time I spoke about you in our lounge.
Okay. Maybe something was lost in communication.
I don't think it was ever detrimental to yours and AJ's connection.
AJ felt differently.
At the end of this conversation, they don't come to a resolve, really. And he's like, you know what? Could have been a miscommunication. She's like, you know what? Yeah, it probably was a miscommunication. But later on, we're going to see her still be upset about it. So she doesn't agree that it was a miscommunication. She thinks that he flat out lied, right? So then he's like, you know what? I'm not the type of person who is comfortable dating a lot of people. She's like, really? Really? Are you sure? Girl, he was trying to narrow down his options quite quickly. And you were the one who was trying to maintain a roster. So I don't know. Based on the evidence, it does look like he's less comfortable dating multiple people compared to you. Not to say he wasn't enjoying his time, but girl, I know you're not talking. Okay. So then he was like, yeah, I didn't like that you said to Faye that I was disingenuous. You're basically saying I'm fake and that's not cool. She's stuck on semantics. And this is going to be her issue. She's always stuck on semantics. And she's like, I never said you were fake. And he's like, but you called me disingenuous, which says that I'm fake. So yeah, she doesn't really apologize for that. And why should she? I feel like there is some validity to that, but a lot of Ciara's actions feel like she's doing this because she's bitter. Yeah, and not bitter in the sense that like, oh, I really like this guy and he hurt my feelings, but how dare you take away my right to shut you down? That's what I think. She says she's not even the one who started the conversation about him being disingenuous, and I'm sure that that's the case. Like, he came across quite aloof in the pod, so I'm sure other people are like, yeah, I don't know, he doesn't really seem serious. And then she also feels like he steamrolled the conversation. He could sense that she was about to end things, so he just took over the conversation, but she swears that she ended things. And I'm like, well, he came in being like, yeah, I don't know, when it comes to marriage compatibility. I mean, they could have cut things out, but it sounded to me like she was the one who hijacked the conversation. Ciara is then going to continue to dance on my nerves because now she's talking to Cuba about Joseph. And she's like, yeah, I don't know about Joseph. Like, maybe he too is disingenuous because I have some insider information about what he was saying to Chevanique.
Is Joseph trying to make you feel uncomfortable? It was just a bit shady.
They look beautiful together.
Stunning.
But I don't know if Joseph has been 100% honest. Chev spoke to me in the pods about it. Joseph was open to still getting to know her.
I don't want to see her get hurt. She doesn't deserve it.
The gag is Chevanique was the one who was in Delulu land and thought with enough convincing, she could force Joseph to pick her over Francesca. Like, I don't think that he was deliberately trying to lead her on. Of course, he shouldn't have kept the door open, but he wasn't like telling her sweet nothings to keep her on the hook, you know? So I'm just like, nah, girl. This girl's a witch. I'm sorry. Like, Ciara is a witch. Or anything that rhymes with that. Her whole thing is always, I'm just looking out for the girls. I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for her. If you were truly looking out for Francesca, where was this energy? In the pods. Where was it? Because before things were over with Chevanique and Joseph, we saw plenty of opportunities for Ciara to go and say something to Francesca if she truly was looking out for Francesca. Also, if you're looking out for Francesca, why are you not talking to Francesca? You talking to Cuba so you can rally up the troops? Hell no. Cuba and Ryan go on a date where they are supposed to be connecting in mind, body, and soul, right? And you know, Ryan, it's giving fraud.
Come on, Ryan, get moving.
I love how you move.
I'm falling for him more and more.
Thanks for leading the dance. Yeah, it's really beautiful to see you moving.
From the time these two arrived at the honeymoon, she had said on the first date, you know, I'm ready for us to connect, like mentally, soulfully, spiritually, whatever she was saying. And I didn't see much reciprocation coming from Ryan. And from that point, I was like, okay, interesting. Now we're seeing them on this date and she is like free flowing. She's really immersing, or emerging if you're sincere. She's really immersing herself into this experiment and into this experience. And he's just two-stepping like he's at the club. And I'm like, isn't the point of this like to just let your body do what comes like naturally and free flow and just be, you know, ecstatic, because it's what, ecstatic dance or something like that. But him, it looked quite calculated, like I'm just gonna do a two-step. I don't want to look crazy. Okay, all right. Then when they were doing some kind of like body morphing thing, he was just mirroring her, and it didn't feel like he was doing what came naturally. So I'm just like, I'm getting the impression that he might be a spiritual enthusiast, while she's more of a spiritual purist, you know, like she's really about this life. She don't talk about it, she be about it. And I don't trust that man. I surely don't. So she's going to say, my mind is there, my soul is there, I'm just waiting for my body to connect. Girl, don't. Because right now it looks like the man is just doing what he has to do to knock. And I don't trust him. We have some quick conversations here. Sophie says she's concerned that Taylor might be a party boy because he has a few girls' names on his butt. He drunkenly got these tattoos when he was 20. And yeah, he's like, oh, I can get your name. And she's like, no, you're not getting my name. And you're also going to laser those names off your bum. I said, whew, she runs a tight ship. Okay. Then we have Jordan and Yasmin, who say that they're not really big on PDA and they're happy with the pace that they're going at. I don't believe him. And this pains me because I've been saying, Jordan, don't embarrass me. And I feel like the embarrassment is on the way. And one of you guys called it, yo, you guys are funny. Somebody said that they had seen on Twitter that when people say, oh, written by a woman, just wait and see. And I feel like the waiting and seeing is coming. I feel, Jordan, I knew something in my body kept saying like, don't embarrass me, don't embarrass me. I feel it coming. Ugh, that saddens me. Anyways, we then have Joseph and Jack, who say that they're basically in love with their partners, but they're not at a point where they can say that to their partners. I wonder why. This process is quite quick. If you feel it, say it. At the end of it, Jack is going to say, at the end of the little engagement moon, Jack is going to tell Faye that he loves her. But they said things that kind of like rang alarm bells for me. He said that she has nothing else to do to kind of prove to him that that is somebody that he loves. And then Joseph had said that he's constantly looking for problems that aren't there, and he just has to accept that what he sees is what it is. So those things aren't like super bad, but it just makes me wonder, like, are these guys like purposely looking for problems, and are they gonna cut and run and then be like, yeah, you know, it just never sat right with me? Like, I don't know. Ciara tells Faye that she has concerns about Jack and she just hopes that Jack is treating her the way that she deserves. And Faye's like, I'm good. The way Ciara looked so irritated. Girl, stop meddling in people's relationships. And speaking of all of that, oh, I'm just looking out for Francesca, is a crock of shit, because here goes Cuba actually telling Francesca what was said from Ciara instead of Ciara doing it herself.
I'm grateful for you, Fran. I'm grateful to the universe for everything that we have. Yesterday, I had a conversation with Ciara. He actually told Chev that he was open to more. You need to know what was said.
Yeah. What's going on? Like, what have you said to her? It needs to be kind of clarified from him.
I honestly don't think that this is anything to harp on about. Like, yes, he kept the door open, but I truly don't feel like he was selling Chevanique a dream. He wanted to be absolutely certain that he was making the right decision. And every time he got the chance to make a decision, he chose Francesca. Like what is there to talk about? Chevanique had an image in mind. Reality wasn't the same, and you didn't get picked. Jack has a conversation with AJ because he obviously heard that AJ was hurt by the comments made in the men's quarters, so he wants to make sure that he clears the air.
It did upset me, right? But like, man, like, it's cool.
I
like,
just wanted to clear the air.
no.
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
We're good, bro. You got a good heart, man. How we doing, brother? It was a nice conversation.
Okay, good. So he was lying yesterday.
Yeah, but
To bring it up, I can't be asked. The fact that he called me boring yesterday, for me, I'm just like, it's disrespectful, like,
No.
but I don't want to talk about it.
Let's park it.
So she feels like this conversation confirms that Jack was lying. But no, you told Jack that AJ was hurt by his words. And so he's like, hey, whatever I said, I'm so sorry that it hurt you. I wasn't trying to be malicious. It was not my intention to, make you feel some type of way. And for that, I am sorry. How does that prove anything? He already said, okay, yeah, maybe I misunderstood what was said. And from that, he went and he said things that hurt AJ's feelings. I don't get how she feels like this is a gotcha moment. Like, she was getting irritated because she's like, oh, why would he call me boring? I've never been called boring. Nobody thinks that I am boring. Well, you're boring me. And also, he didn't say you are boring. He said he was bored on the date. You just decided to take that personal, and that's on you, girl. Anyways, the episode ends with Francesca confronting Joseph about what's her name said. Ciara said, no, Cuba said, yeah, what Cuba said. And Joseph was like, hold on. This came from Cuba?
Ciara did say you were still open to getting to know Chev.
I said maybe let's explore it, but I doubled back and said Francesca is my priority. I just don't feel like there's enough time. And I feel like Ciara said it.
Ciara said to Cuba.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even the fact Ciara said that is a bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Joseph admitted that he shouldn't have been dragging things longer than he needed to, because obviously it caused more harm than good. And then I also am glad that he acknowledged that it's weird that Ciara didn't just come right out and say this to Francesca, and the information was received through the grapevine. Why is that? All of a sudden, you mean to tell me that all of a sudden Ciara has this care for Francesca? In the pause, she didn't say nothing. She had amnesia up until Joseph pissed her off? Hell no. Even if she's correct, I don't trust her. Like, she gives mean-spirited, and that's not somebody who I would want to believe when they speak. So I'm glad that he was like, noted. And I'm sure this is going to come up later, but we'll see what happens. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.